everybody. I want to talk about personal training today, my other life. Everybody knows, or most of you know, I'm an author, which is an awesome thing, and I'm also a trainer. I want to talk about how I got into that. Years ago, I worked in the Empire State Building on the 33rd floor. It was really awesome. I got $10 an hour. Couldn't even buy crack to edit 3 magazines. And I really loved the job. It came to a point one day, I was moving out and I needed to support myself. And I went to my boss and he basically, I was like, well, let's break down the math. And the raise he was offering was really not a raise, but a reduction. And I had, at the time, one of my jobs was to go on various photo shoots and direct the photo shoots, which was probably the most fun. It would get me out of the office. I like being creative. And I made friends with one of the models, and he was a personal trainer. And I respected it, but I kind of scoffed at it. And he's like, you should try this. And I thought, why? Who's going to want to hear what I have to say? But I was a former teen national bodybuilding champion. Apparently, maybe I could help people. And I looked into it, and I decided to be a personal trainer. So I got a job in Princeton, New Jersey. I was hired. I just had to get a certificate. And I started training people. I learned the art of personal training. I also, at that time, shortly thereafter, booked a job in New York City at a very upscale gym, but I knew I wasn't ready for it yet. So I always like to have a plan, and I thought I would practice my craft in the smaller Princeton place, and then later give notice and move on to New York City. I want to talk about what it is to be a personal trainer, and there's two kinds really. There's an independent trainer, which is someone like me who will either pay a rent or work out of a private gym and so forth, and house trainers. Gold's Gym, Crunch, Equinox, these are the trainers, and they're all fine trainers, or many of them are. I find in Los Angeles a lot of these people have secondary careers. They're actors and models and so forth, and that's fine, but I'm passionate about what I do 100%. This is what I do. My job is to help people and make them look better, because they're my walking business card. The better they look, the better they feel, the better I do, because people are going to say, you're looking awesome, what are you doing? Oh, this guy Hollis has been helping me out. So it behooves you to give of your best to help people. I have seen it all. I've been training 16 years now, personal training. I've seen it all. I've been bled on, I've been thrown up on, I've been farted on, I have seen it all. Because personal training is not impersonal, it's very personal, it's very intimate. People share things with you, and it's probably one of the most fun aspects. I love learning about people, and they learn about me, and it's very cool to bounce ideas off of people. And the thing is, it works two ways. There are some trainers who are very stone-faced, and they just ask, how was your weekend, this and that. That doesn't work for very long, because eventually the other party's going to want to know, how are you doing? What's going on with your life? So it's a very cool, intimate, personal thing. I am one of those trainers, I think because I mentioned before I was bullied as a kid, and I still feel like I'm that kid today. I don't walk around like this, despite how I may appear. I remember what it was like to start the first day. I remember what it was like to walk in and not know anything, and to be intimidated by the machines and the equipment. And I always try to make somebody feel very comfortable, especially someone that's a newbie to the gym, a heavy person, someone that may be very skinny, whatever their deal is. I'm also not a paperwork person. I don't like trainers that come in, sit down, and they do all the measurements and all that stuff, because what to me is it a number? All I need to know is that your clothes, the mirror, and how you feel. That tells me your true composition. So all I ask is two things of new people. What are your goals, and what gets in the way of us getting them? What are your ailments? Let's rock and roll. 5 minutes in, we're onto the floor and training. I don't like people, trainers, I'm not the trainer that says drive or screaming at people. I believe in positive reinforcement. I just don't like that style. I really don't. And I also believe in tension on the muscle, because most people have two needs: to avoid pain and embrace pleasure. But if you can embrace pain and avoid pleasure in the gym, less is more. You'll be able to take the hammer and hit the nail with 1 or 2 whacks instead of wasting time like this. So I believe in getting it right the first time, and being very linear in my progression. It's come into vogue today. A lot of trainers will spend copious amount of time on the treadmill with their client. I look at that and I want to throw up, because the money that people pay me, I'm not a babysitter. I'm there. If you want to do a warm-up to precede the workout or after, that's great. I'm there to take people, again, from A to B in a linear fashion. So a lot of trainers will stretch their clients, or they'll do myofascial rolling and all that stuff. It has its place, but to me, personal training is coming in, listening, being attentive. There's a spotlight on the client. It's not about you. You won't see me on my phone, not much in the gym. It's about the client. If they're on their phone, maybe I'll pull it out at that instant, but it's about the client and getting them to where they want to be. And you have to listen and deliver and be patient. A lot of women, I find, will come in and they will look at me, and already it's kind of works against me a little bit, because they'll say, I don't want to be big. And I'm saying, if it was only that easy, you're not going to be big. You need genetics and years of training. And in some instances, pharmaceuticals in some instances, and copious amounts of food. It takes a very long time. And the more lean muscle you have, the better your posture will be, the more calories you'll burn at rest. So when I see, and I see this a lot with females, and I'm not by any means saying negative, but doing so much cardio, it almost breaks my heart, because cardio just makes somebody smaller, but it doesn't enhance the shape or the composition of the body. I would much rather see somebody do weight training, where they're going to enhance the shape of their body. For years I was asked, what is my specialty in personal training? And I really didn't know what to say to that. But what I am, and what my books are about, I'm the guy that transforms people. I'm a transformation specialist, and I do and teach by doing. I go up and down in weight. Peak Physique was created on a need that I was formerly not at my best. I was at my worst, both mentally and physically, and I made myself strong again here first, and then here. So what I do is I'm a transformation specialist. And I just want to say that it's an honor to work with people, to train people, that people come and pay me money for me to do something I love, to wear pajamas to work, basically, is a beautiful thing, and I'm very blessed and thankful. And beyond that, between my clients, to sit down on my fat ass and write my books is a further blessing, and I'm just so very thankful. So other personal trainers out there, listen to your client, be attentive. It's not about you, it's about the client, and you have to treat them with respect and listen, and don't force people. I never force people unless it's a date. That's a joke, I'm just kidding. Never force people, ever. People you push them, but you push them to within their abilities and limits. And having said that, everybody, we have one life and one body, and take care of yourself. You don't need to look like the guy or girl in the magazines. You need to better the person in the mirror. There's no mirror, but that would have been really cool if there was a mirror there. You need to better the person in the mirror and be the best you can be. And with that, I'd like to wish you all a very happy upcoming whatever. Thank you.